Are you tired of bad and corrupt government actors trying to tell you what to do? Are you sick of the mandates? Sick of the drama? Sick of being told where you can and cannot go? Are you tired?
Hey Dave, I know you like cars, bro. Here's the Roush. But on a serious tip, I just want to make this video just to let you know that I appreciate everything that you are doing, everything you've done for me personally. You, one affidavit, one piece of paper. Let me show you why I'm showing you my gratitude. Let me show you what I've done. Your one affidavit accumulated to about 1 year of me filing all this paperwork into the courts, or else I got a suitcase up here full of papers. I think, is this the affidavit? This is the affidavit. One affidavit got my daughter back. And I know you're, you know, helping everyone and whatnot. And I'm lost for words. You know, I just want to say I appreciate everything you've done. Like I said, I'm lost for words. But I just want to show my gratitude to you, man, and just say thank you for getting my daughter back to me.
This case. So the kid, the
No
baby,
attorneys would help.
yeah, the baby gets
No
transferred.
attorneys would help. I
No
reached
one,
out to Dave. Dave was busy at the time too. So like this is I think 2 days or 3 days after the fact when I reached out to Dave, Dave said, read this, the Social Security Act of 1935, and I'll get back to you. I'm like, okay. So I think it was maybe 3 or 4 days after that, Dave, you sent me this affidavit.
Okay, so it's in your hand. What does it say at the top?
Notice to DCS hospital partners and the Arizona legislature.
Woo! So is that connecting people, like connecting DCS with the legislature and all the partners that help them traffic?
It's putting them all on notice. That's all I know.
So a lot of people fought court cases. The courts try to hide everything. The bar members will not help you. They will laugh you out of court. Well, this is a real situation where a person who's not an attorney, but, and I don't have a license, right? I don't have anything on my wall that's licensed.
okay,
But
so we got no lawyers are going to help you. You got the affidavit. We're going through the affidavit. It's out to DCS and the legislature tying that together because we know there's a connection there.
Yeah.
So where are we at with that now?
So I reach out. So now the grandma is helping the daughter. She's back home now. She's completely distraught. She's not. We haven't been communicating with mom directly just because it's just traumatizing, and she's just not in the mental capacity to work with us. And so we were working with her best friend. And her best friend was the most responsive. And so we gave her instruction on what to do with this. I even offered to have a friend of mine who's a notary go to the home and actually get the signature so that we can get the signature for that and then do the legislature, DCS, and then also the hospital. They declined my offer to do the notary thing. They said that they had somebody that was able to, that they trusted that could do that for them. They thanked me for my the affidavit and for that time. And I don't know if they just almost all also kind of were just in doubt. Like, I'm just supposed to give this piece of paper and this is supposed to have power and do something. Do you see what we've been through?
so no attorney would listen to them. They couldn't pay an attorney. They couldn't get the legislature to do anything. Powerful people, Marissa Hamilton, Walter Blackman, all these people they tried to communicate with to make something happen. Nobody wanted to help them or could or felt their hands were tied. And then you give them a piece of paper and they're looking after all this crazy drama and pain and agony and tears. And then they say, they're looking like, oh, okay, we could get somebody to do it. Oh, are we supposed to believe that this piece of paper will help us after nobody can help us? After all the big names couldn't help us.
They think it's the simplicity of it. It's just like a lot of we deal with all these really brilliant lawyers. You know, they go to school, law school, and they put the extra time in. they put all, they do the bar exam, and they they're smart people, and they just can't believe that the Constitution can be used in such a way because it's so simple. I didn't have to go to law school to figure this out, and it's very it's almost like they want to cognitive dissonance, right? Because they don't want to believe that can't be that easy. We have all these brilliant people. Then I get this affidavit.
But I mean, honestly, aren't all things with God super easy? Like the Constitution, I believe, is divinely inspired.
Yes.
It has power in and of itself because of who it came from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a gift to us. And so when I gave this to her, she said, okay. And I said, you need to send this because whatever happens, this will do something. This is our last resort. You have no other options. We have no other choices. You have to do this. And so
it's not going to hurt, right? It's not going to hurt anything. You might as well try it, right? At this point.
Done everything. All you have to do is notarize this piece of paper. Your best friend's going to make copies for you and distribute it to all of these entities.
Yes.
And then if not the very next day, I would say the very shortened future, I was shocked to see that there was a post from this lady and she had her baby in her arms.
Isn't that what the consultant said too?
Like, I'm sorry?
Consultant said he put in a stack of documents this big for a year. And then he put in that little document that you put in. And it's like, take this kid, get this kid out of here. Your kid ain't even that pretty. I don't like your kid anymore. Oh, it's worth how much money? I don't want your kid around me anymore. Get this kid out of here. How many times we got to see the same thing? People want to doubt. But I'm like this. I like being the underdog. Doubt me, laugh at me, hate me all you want. Because David in the Bible was the underdog. Paul in the Bible was the one killing Christians. Underdog. Gideon, underdog. The people who were walking around the walls of Jericho were the underdogs. This big fortress city.
Joshua ripped them down.
Everybody's scared. Oh, it's so big. The problem is so mighty. And I'm like, when God gives you wisdom, you drop fire on these things with the wisdom God gave you, and people can't understand how you did it. So now think about this. Annabelle, you knew Josh, didn't really ever see me face to face. So it took somebody who believed in God to look at what I'm saying and say, you know what, this is truth. It resonates. He ain't the coolest guy in the world. The guy don't hang out with the politicians. Josh bring him around a little bit. So something must be okay. He can't lift enough weights to be around Josh, so something is wrong. Right? But this is what I tell people. I've been able to be blessed by God to deal with Josh, who brought me in the midst of all this stuff with the audits. And if you just follow the records and the traces of every place that got an audit, you'll find an affidavit there and people getting taught the same things that you use. And the people are regular people who believed in God and could just see like, okay, this dude, I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what people say about him. All I care about is what is he saying and can I find it? And every one of you guys did what was right. The Bible tells you to test the spirits. The Bible tells you you'll know them by their fruit. So when you see what I'm saying, and you could go look it up, you can see what I was saying was there when I first sent you the first thing. It's just, you're like, okay, now what exactly is this trying to tell me? But then when you got that affidavit in your hand and you gave it to her, her hope was gone. See, most people don't realize when I deal with people, and I was telling Josh about this, my heart gets messed up because I know what it was like when I had my little guys taken. And I was almost like, should I just do everything they say? And my spirit, it was saying, you do not bow down to these people. You better crush it off. And then I started walking out the door and I saw one little Hispanic lady that looked super innocent saying, I can't see my babies in Spanish. It messed me up right now today just thinking about her saying that. And then I heard another lady who was a little small white lady. And she was saying, they won't let me see my baby. And she was crying, just broken.
I can't imagine.
And I knew when they took my little guys, all I wanted somebody to do was touch my shoulder and say, David, it'd be okay. And I would have been happy. So guys, I just want you to realize that sometimes you have to go through pain and suffering in order to be able to serve at a higher level. I understand that things in my life had to happen for me to get to this point and for us as a nation to be fighting to get rid of all tyrannical mandates, to get rid of all these evil things that are being used to harm the people, kids being taken, houses, cars, dogs, and even your grandmothers and grandfathers. All of these things had to happen in my life in order for me to be able to help you. And now I want to tell you that if you want real remedy, you want to know how to solve the issues that are plaguing you, get with us at www.restoremyrepublic.com or message at Dave Cares For You on Telegram, or I'll leave a link to a Telegram group in the description of this video. Let's move forward. Let's do powerful things and let's use what works. Affidavits and notices work.